Yes, so as you mentioned, I come from Slovenia. Slovenia is a small European country, but we are in the EU since 2004. And we border Italy, Croatia, Austria, Hungary. I just say that always so people can imagine where we are located. But we're lucky to have a little bit of the sea and some of the Alps, so it's really a great place to live and work. And I've grown up in Slovenia, but I spent quite a bit of my life, especially in college, abroad. So I was studying in the United States. But I was always interested in politics, in how to actually influence some of the changes in our society that we want, that we talk about, things that should happen. And I always felt like I wanted to do that at home because I feel the most connected to the society and the values that we have. So I was fortunate enough to be able to study law. So I came back and I studied law at the University of Ljubljana. And during this time, I was active in different organizations and ended up leading a youth section of a new upcoming party. And with that, I also got an opportunity to run in elections in 2022. And we were fortunate to have a strong victory. So I have been serving in the parliament since that year. So it will be a bit more than 2 years now. Yes, so I was elected in a district that is part of the capital city of Ljubljana in Slovenia. However, the way our constitution and parliamentary system works is that we are elected in districts, but we must represent the whole country. So we are representatives of the whole country. It is the lower body of parliament, which I'm a part of, the National Assembly. And I take that to heart because even though I have been born in Ljubljana, I was growing up here. My family is from around the country. My parents grew up in rural areas, different parts in Slovenia, and I spent a significant amount of time there as well while growing up. So it is definitely true that some of those rural areas are facing different challenges than people in the city, and I think that's very important to keep in mind. So I'm working here in Ljubljana, of course, during those days that we have our constituency offices, but I really make sure to, visit Slovenia as a whole, especially since I have the honor of being one of the youngest parliamentarians, the youngest female member. And I think with that comes a responsibility to really make sure to try to connect with young people across the country. So I'm doing different projects to do that as well. If I had to point out maybe 2 areas of concern that are paramount, almost regardless of your age or any other personal circumstance, is healthcare. We have a public healthcare system that needs some reform so that our waiting lines will be shorter and people will be able to access the healthcare system more easily. And the second one would definitely be climate change and everything connected to the green transition, energy transition and so on, which is, I think, also a topic that young people are very passionate about. So we have had quite a bit of legislation going through the parliament in the past 2 years addressing different aspects of these 2 topics. But I'm always trying to engage in those conversations, but from the area of expertise, I'm a lawyer. So I'm especially active in the Justice Committee and the Constitutional Reform Committee, which we are also attempting a few processes in this mandate. And I think that even though maybe content-wise those 2 topics are paramount, we need a strong legal state and trust in institutions to be able to carry them out. So that is something that we are working on in the Justice Committee for sure, and also with some of our constitutional changes to try to strengthen our institutions and make sure that they're functioning, so in a transparent way so that people can grow their confidence in them. Yeah, so we had historic floods last summer in August. 2/3 of the country was hit in some way or knew somebody that was very deeply affected. So it was really like a whole country problem. My specific area was not flooded where I was elected, but in Ljubljana we also had parts of the city that were flooded. So this was a time really that, although it was devastating, it was good to see that people still had solidarity in them, and we were able to organize a lot of different volunteer groups that went to help. I also joined them just with those basic tasks, that people needed when all of their belongings were flooded, and they were still doing those first steps of just cleaning up. But of course, since then, we immediately suspended parliamentary break at that time, and we had urgent legislation going through to make sure that municipalities had liquid funds that they could start rebuilding the necessary infrastructure as soon as possible, as with the help of our military and national institutions. So of course the changes are not going as quickly as we would want, but they are, considering it's only been a year and really a lot has been brought back to a functioning state. I think, we have worked quite hard during this time to make that happen. For sure, I think they should do it if they're thinking about it. I mean, democracy is based on the fact that we engage in it. So I think it's important to be working on issues that you care about, and that through being active on those areas, sooner or later, I think it will, in a democracy, it will lead you to some sort of interaction with politics. And maybe the second thing I would say, if I were to be giving advice, even though I'm also learning so much on the way, is that people are so important. Like, by yourself, you are quite limited with what you can do. But if you have a network of good people that can give you feedback that you can learn from, you can really make a lot more profound changes. That's what I'm learning so far. So really value from, it doesn't matter the age, from your colleagues to your mentors and everyone in between. I think it's really important to be building those good networks and working relationships.
Sort of introduced a new segment in the sort of online interviews that we conduct. We had a feedback that, okay, Zaid, you go on asking very technical questions, so do something fun this time. So it's more like a rapid fire round question. So we just need like a one-word answer to the question that I ask you.
Okay.
So let's see, it's a much more fun-based activity that we are going to do before we end the talk. What's your favorite place to visit in Slovenia?
Ooh, favorite place. I would say I'm a sucker for the beach, so I'll say Piran. I really like going to the beach.
A secret hobby talent you wish you had or probably have currently that the world does not know about?
That I do have or wish? Either?
Either one of them.
Ooh. I wish I had a talent to become friends with most people.
Favorite person in the Slovenian parliament?
Favorite person?
Yes.
Oh, that's really hard. I can't pick one because there are really very many. And
there are many.
Yeah, many MPs, but also many of our support staff that nobody sees, and they are saving our lives every day.
So probably the whole of parliament, then we'll take that as an answer.
Yes, yeah.
A food item that you cannot live without?
Ooh, anything sweet.
What's your guilty pleasure TV show or movie? Your favorite one that you want to go after a long work day?
Ooh, I really like House Hunters.
Perfect.
Living in an imaginary world.
Lovely. Okay, this one's a bit tricky. Okay, get ready. If you could swap jobs with any politician, who would it be? It could be anyone from the world. It doesn't have to be from Slovenia.
Oh, anyone in the world. I think President of the European Commission.
This question: Who's your favorite fashion icon?
Oh, fashion icon in life. Wow. Honestly, my friend is a great fashion icon for me, so you don't know her, but yeah, I'm not into the super fancy way of dressing, but if you can still, with what you have in your closet, look very put together, that's kind of my role model.
Perfect. So last one from the rapid fire round, your favorite go-to song in your playlist?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Taylor Swift these days.
Anything from your own country music here, Slovenian music. I know they perform really well in Eurovision, but they never win something.
Yeah, I don't know if we're that good at Eurovision. Not these last couple years we were doing better. Yes, I like many Slovenian artists as well. I really like Nina Pušlar. She's a really good singer. So I have many of her songs that I like. Midva sta super par would be one of them.
All right, that probably brings to the end of our interview. Lucija, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. We had a wonderful conversation. Very grateful to our viewers as well, and we'll probably be back with more such guests and interesting convos. This is your host signing off. Shabba khair, take care, and nasvidenie.
Nasvidenje.